Hey, today we're going to cover stacks and queue in Java. So they are quite similar, but the one thing that we need to know is that in stacks, let's go. So let's say, let's do like this. And let me put, so let's say this is my stacks. So in stack, I add, let's say 1, 2, 3, right? Let's say now I want to add push 4. So it will push 1, 2, 3, 4 now. Let's say like pop. It will pop and it will be 1, 2, 3. That's it. So you can see that in stack it goes from the end and it removes from the end, right? Basically, like it's fine. Like we're adding and we're removing. So the newest element, the newest, working with the newest. So we could remember easily that the newest member is removed and added. So only that one, nothing else. Okay, what about queues? So in the queues, it's about the regular queue, right? Like in the real life when we stand in the queue, the last guy comes and the first guy goes, right? Because like queue for anything. So let's say the example 1, 2, 3, right? Let's say push, add 4. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4 regularly. Let's say pop now. It will be 2, 3, 4 because it removes the first element. So the oldest element is gone. For now, to make it very, very understandable, let's leave it like this, the short introduction. Now let's look at the code, right? So the stack has this kind of character in the class. So it's our own implementation. This is the max size, which is like capacity of how many elements should be stored. This is like the top, the highest, the newest element. The array is like just to store like any other thing. So here we have our stack. This is our max size, which means the capacity. So when we define the array, we're defining the max size already. And this is like top, it's -1. It's returned by the official API. So when there's nothing there, it will just return -1. And this one is the object. The array list is being created. Okay. What about this get max size? It's basically get function for this private variable, and this as empty. So if our top is -1, then we say, hey, it's empty because nothing there, right? And what about this one? So is full. So it's basically meaning we have a max size, let's say 7, and if our top is close to that, like 0, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, then we will say, hey, it's full, don't add anything, right? The top. So it's basically asking, hey, can you return me the top element? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 will be the top element, okay? The newest element. The push. The push is quite easy. We just say, hey, 1, 2, 3, add 4, push 4. Now it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. It's same as in the queue. Same as in the queue. The pop is the same as the push, but you just remove that element. That's it. Nothing else. So if you look at the code, then we have to, after we call it, after we import it, we have to call it like this. So the max capacity here, and the integer is defined here, like the casting. So it will do auto casting, and just printing the elements. Then the pushing from 0 to 4 inclusively, and then printing it out basically. Well, what about this one? The stack is full. So since our the 5 here, and we have till 5, it's full, right? And here we're just popping out, so like 4 3 2 1 0, because the pop is like the newest element, right? Okay, but how is different from the queue, right? Let's see. So queue is basically like an interface, and we still implement the linked list. And so let's add the same as here, like 0 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Yeah, it's same 0 1 2 3 4. And the remove, the head of the queue. So the remove will remove like the head of the queue. So it depends how we define the head, right? Remove. Let's do the quick search. Follow. So here the remove removes the first, the last, the oldest element, right? In the like okay. So the thing is that in the remove we actually so for the queue, yeah, remove is the head of the queue. So remove should, so when we said remove, we're removing the head, like the oldest element. So let's say 1 2 3 4, it will remove the one, the oldest, the first ever element, right? Then 2, then yeah, basically. So but what's the like despite this removing like oldest and the newest members, so just remove that. Just remember that the queue is the different one. Like we have different tails of ends to work with. So the stacks has some pros, right? Like we can see it's really like logical for us. Like push, which is really familiar, and it allows like how to control the memory. It allows us to control it, and it's much easier than these queries. But there are some minus, the cons. So it's not really flexible or scalable, and it doesn't have like random access to the elements, right? It has, but it's like too complicated to recreate that conditions. Also, the queues, the queues are flexible. I mean, they can handle like multiple data types, and they are like quite fast and optimized compared to any other thing. And inserting or removing it from the middle is like complex, and queues are not really searchable. So in your application, you have to consider, you have to put these real life cases and put there each and everything, right? Basically. So maybe sometimes stacks is more helpful, sometimes is more it's queues, and yeah, it's up to you. Well, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.